As Vice-Chancellor of the University, I declare this congregation open for the conferring of degrees by the authority of the Senate and the Council. Will you please be seated? Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire, Lord Lieutenant of Rutland, High Sheriffs of Leicestershire and Rutland, Chairman of Leicestershire County Council, civic guests, parents, friends and graduands, I am delighted to welcome you all to this degree congregation. It is a celebration for all those who graduate today. We welcome your many achievements that culminate in the award of a degree from a major international research and teaching-led university. The degrees you have achieved are the best results ever turned in by Leicester graduates. Many congratulations to you all. While you... thought that deserved a round of applause. While you have been with us, the university has developed and changed. We are now a community of 23,000 students, 4,000 staff, and we have a turnover of £263 million, a sum that has doubled over the last 10 years. We are, therefore, a big business with higher education at its heart. This academic year, we have been very proud of our achievements. In the league tables, we are placed in the top 20 UK universities. Out of 120 institutions, Leicester is in 17th place in the Times and 19th place in the Guardian. Clearly, the Times is the most reliable guide to UK higher education in this particular year. We have increased our annual research income to over £50 million, and we continue to win many awards, including most recently from Times Higher Education for our outstanding library team. Indeed, it was very pleasing to note that we are still the only university to win 6 successive awards from the THE Awards competition. One reason for our success is the equal emphasis Leicester places on providing high-quality teaching linked to high-quality research. The university's performance in the last research assessment exercise earned Leicester a position in the top 20 research-intensive universities in the UK. All our teaching is supported by leading-edge research, and we know from independent surveys that our research has the greatest impact of any Midlands university measured by citations per academic. Our citation levels, that is the extent to which other researchers quote the work of Leicester researchers, places us among the top 1% of universities in the world, and we are the 7th highest institution in England. In terms of our estate, our Percy G Students' Union building has already won many awards. We have completed a new £16 million medical sciences research building, and last September we opened 281 ensuite study bedrooms at Nixon Court. At Easter, we opened a new gymnasium and swimming pool on the main campus, and in September we will be opening a new £5 million sports hall and another swimming pool in Oadby, which will be available for students, staff and alumni. We go, therefore, from being a no swimming pool university when you all arrived to a university with 2 pools as you leave. In the next few weeks, we will begin building a new £33 million medical building, and we are also developing a £17 million university management training centre. Our work, as you can see, never ceases. Many people comment on the constant programme of building work at Leicester, some of which I am sure you will see at first hand in our Charles Wilson building this lunchtime. Indeed, if the university is to remain competitive, it is essential that we continue to upgrade and improve our facilities for staff and students. We are creating plans for new research, new teaching programmes and new community links. This year we have launched 4 new research centres in fields as diverse as medical humanities, landscape and climate change, systems neuroscience and the future of work, and we intend to add to these centres in the coming year. We have developed, alongside these research centres, a range of new master's programmes, including banking and actuarial science, urban conservation, and media and public relations. We have strengthened our links with primary and secondary schools and devised new models for training teachers. This all demonstrates that we are a dynamic 21st century university that provides high-quality research and teaching and an excellent student experience. We are the only top 20 university in the UK to meet its benchmarks by recruiting students whose families have no experience of higher education. We are very proud of that particular aspect of our record. All these features put together lead to a very positive institutional ethos in Leicester. But among all this success, I know that a major concern for many graduates and their parents is the impact of the economy on graduate employment. At this stage in your careers, I would urge you to hold your nerve. The degrees you have obtained are world-renowned and will contribute to your future achievements. But you will need to be ambitious, persistent, and flexible. This is the key to success in the current economic climate. And I would urge you to seek every opportunity to develop your CV and continue to build on all your additional achievements recorded in your Higher Education Achievement Report, which will be issued alongside your degree certificate. You may also wish to consider postgraduate study, for which there are prospectuses in the foyer. And indeed, if any parents and friends wish to register for a postgraduate degree, we shall be very pleased to sign you up. We are committed to the development of your employability. Whether you have already gained a graduate job or you are still trying to do so, the Careers Service would like to keep in touch. Your relationship with the university does not end when you graduate. In many ways, this is just the beginning. We want you to be proud of your achievements at Leicester and to continue your connection with the university. This means letting us know how you're getting on and letting us help you where we can. All universities participate in the destination survey that takes place 6 months after you graduate. Do let us know how you are getting on when the Careers Service contacts you. If you are yet to find a graduate job, then the Careers Service can still help. You can access our advice and guidance services via telephone, email, or in person, and there are also graduate internships available within the university and with local employers. Staff from the Careers Service are here today in the foyer to provide any assistance that you would like. Another option is volunteering, an activity in which 1,600 Leicester students have been involved this year, with volunteers working on literacy programmes in schools and after-school clubs, work with the elderly, recycling and conservation projects, and work in local hospitals. We are very proud of your splendid record. It is a real contribution to the people of Leicester and Leicestershire. All universities make major contributions to the communities in which they are located. And in addition, they contribute to economic development, to sport, culture, and the arts. This year, the university is celebrating the 11th anniversary of its annual sculpture show in our Botanic Gardens. It includes 29 major sculptures from 16 sculptors, many of whom are nationally and internationally acclaimed. I would strongly encourage you to visit the show, which is free and open until the end of October. Meanwhile, Margaret Lovell, a sculptor who we made an honorary graduate yesterday afternoon, has a splendid exhibition in the entrance of the Fielding Johnson building. So do take the opportunity to visit this before you go home. Finally, I shall look forward to seeing you all at alumni events in future years. But before I close, I would like to briefly tell you about a competition that we run in these degree ceremonies. It's become known over the years as the Vice-Chancellor's competition and is one where we see which of the colleges can applaud loudest and longest and show how much they've enjoyed their time in Leicester during the course of the degree ceremonies. So I would now like you to join me in showing your appreciation for your parents, relatives, friends and sponsors who have supported you through the university. So I would now ask the graduating class of 2012 to join me with a round of applause for those people. That's very good. Have an enjoyable day, and on behalf of the whole university, I wish you every success in your future lives and careers.
Sir David Samworth is a hugely successful businessman who's always believed that looking after the people in his organisation and the communities in which they live is the key to both business success and personal satisfaction. David was born in Birmingham to a family steeped in business. His father, Frank, ran the family firm dealing in pigs, and from their earliest days, David and his brothers absorbed the arts of business at the dining table and spent part of their school holidays touring the shops, learning about all parts of the meat products trade. Childhood was a happy time for David as he excelled in sports and music alongside his academic work, but it was always clear to him that a life of business was his destiny. First, however, there was national service with the Leicestershire Regiment, where he was posted to the Sudan and formed a lifelong love for Africa, which is still with him to this very day. The family business had been completely disrupted by the food policies of the Second World War, so Frank had to start again. And in 1950, he had acquired a business in Nottingham, making a range of pies. All three sons joined the new business as they left the forces and continued to learn their trade from the bottom up, through practical butchery, baking, and service in the shops. Starting with just 3 shops, the business grew rapidly as the increasingly affluent population of the 50s enjoyed release from the tribulations of wartime rationing. The key to success was always quality, with Frank personally tasting the products made each day, another value which has driven David throughout his subsequent career. David soon found, however, that his best talents lay in strategic management. He saw that just selling products in their own shops limited the business, and it was he who oversaw the development of sales to other shops, the harbinger of huge success in the future. This was an early example of his exceptional strategic vision and his understanding that the business had to generate profits to support future development. Thus, he defined the third part of the troika of values: people, quality, and profit, which underpinned massive future success. David soon realized that the business world was changing and new skills would be required, so he took himself off to the Harvard Business School, where he learnt the latest thinking. When he returned, his father stood back from the business, leaving David and his brothers to drive it forward. Growth was rapid, and as chairman and chief executive, David oversaw the progressive acquisition of a range of other businesses, so that by the early 70s, the now publicly quoted firm was a major national player in the food business, building large state-of-the-art factories to produce products sold both through their own shops and increasingly own brand products for major supermarkets. David found, however, that life in a large PLC was not really for him, and in 1978, he and his brothers sold up. At the same time, David and his wife Rosemary directed funds into a charitable trust that was to become a major part of David's life and enable him to support both communities in which he worked and major work back in Africa. David was soon asked to chair the Government Meat and Livestock Commission, a role he discharged with great distinction, being awarded CBE in recognition. He spent a few years as a non-executive director of other companies, but never lost his connections with the family business, and soon returned. David's brother John had acquired Ginsters, then a small Cornish firm making pasties, but now a brand virtually everyone in the country will recognise. In the mid-80s, John decided to step back, and David became chairman of the overarching company, Samworth Brothers, the firm which exists today. As chairman, he oversaw a massive growth, acquiring Walkers, manufacturers of meat products in Leicester, and produced an ever-widening range of products for most major retailers. David has in fact lived in Leicestershire for over 40 years, and he became Deputy Lord Lieutenant of the county, and then in 1997, High Sheriff for a year. Samworth Brothers is now a huge concern, employing 9,000 staff in Leicestershire and Cornwall, with a turnover of £800 million a year. Still a private company, its success remains rooted in the values of people, quality, and profit. David has also devoted much of his energy to charitable work. He had always been interested in education and had continued an association with his old school, but he became increasingly aware of the importance of education for less advantaged communities. Working with the Bishop of Leicester, he helped to set up the first Samworth Academy, replacing a failed state school in a deprived part of Leicester. Importing the Samworth values, and with careful choice of staff, the Academy has been a great success, which has been followed by the establishment of 2 further academies in Nottingham and Mansfield. David's charity work has also extended into a wider range of projects in the communities from which his staff are drawn. He's not, however, forgotten Africa, where he supports a range of activities, including the Mango Tree Project, which looks after a large number of HIV/AIDS orphans. His youngest daughter was a Christian missionary in Africa and works closely with his charity. David was knighted in 2009 in recognition of his contribution to charity. David Samworth's success and his huge contribution to society is firmly rooted in an immutable set of values which pervades his very being. A clear message to us all that if we hold true to our values, all is possible. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the recommendation of Senate and Council, I present to you Sir David Samworth, that you may confer upon him the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws.
Of Doctor of Laws and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Vice-Chancellor, Lords Lieutenant, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Vice-Chancellor, for the great honour that the University have done in conferring on me the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws. To receive an honorary degree from any university would be a great privilege. To receive one from the University of Leicester, acknowledged, as you've just said in your speech, to be one of the finest universities in the country, and so highly respected worldwide, is an honour which I never dreamt. In his kind oration, Professor Peterson mentioned my business colleagues, my wife, Rosemary, 42 years, and my family. My recognition this morning is as much theirs as it is mine. Turning to the graduates of today, I add my congratulations to those of the Vice-Chancellor. You have every right to feel proud of your achievements. And I want to suggest to those of you whose minds are now turning towards your careers, and I understand that some of you already have jobs, that you might consider one in manufacturing. I realize that in doing so, William Blake's image of 200 years ago of dark satanic mills might spring to mind. Today's reality is that progressive manufacturing industries and companies require bright and committed people with a wide range of skills: engineering, product development, sales and marketing, finance administration, IT, and a whole range of humanities. But more importantly than this, before you consider any career, if you want to make a success of it, you must first of all think about your own personal ethos and values. Where do you stand on the important issues of life? Honesty, integrity, the importance of people of any race or creed, and putting the care of others before yourselves. Only when you've answered these and similar questions for yourselves individually will you have the moral compass that will help you through the unbeatable highs and the unbearable lows of life. Whatever direction your future takes, I wish you all good luck in achieving your personal goals. In conclusion, Vice-Chancellor, as a proud member of this university now, I wish you continuing success, and once again, I thank you.
Will all graduands please stand?
By the authority of the Senate, I admit candidates, both present and absent, to the several degrees for which they are presented. Will you please be seated?
Mr. Senior Pro-Vice-Chancellor, as Head of Research and Enterprise of the College of Social Science, I present the following candidates for their degrees. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Mark Egan. Eleni Karamali. Martin Quinn. Paniotis Savas. Alireza Sheikh. For the degree of Doctor of Education, Annette Thomas Gregory. Joseph Wong. Zhong Il Yi. For the degree of Doctor of Social Sciences, Karen Evans. Karen Finnerty. David Freck. Mario Rogers. Debbie Tuckwood. For the degree of Master of Philosophy, Epaminondas Pashos. For the degree of Master of Social Sciences, Hala Atar-Zaidan. For the degree of Master of Arts in Applied Linguistics and TESOL, Claire Brincat. Don Cremonse. Caterina De Rosa. Gabrielle Jones. For the degree of Master of Arts in Primary Education, Lorraine Zammit. For the degree of Master of Arts in TESOL, Yi Chan-ju. Nyoko Marimutsu. For the degree of Master of Arts in TESOL and Applied Linguistics, Carolina Noble. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Mustafa Abdul Fattah. Rani Abdul Hosn. Winner of the Best MBA Student by Distance Learning Prize, Adedotun Adegbiti. Raphael Agablonga. Ikechukwu Aga. Patrick Agius. Sakinat Ajibola. Elijah Akuoko. Richard Akian. Faisal Al-Duhim. Sani Aliu. Leonard Amuti Iyehara. Sahan Angunwela. Antikonan Ankiri. George Ankoma. Kingsley Anoki Mensah. Raymond Aquilina. Romuald Aquilina. Ophelia Arma Mensah. Patricia Ashong. Shirley Ann Uwuliti Williams. Moyes Babika. Edmund Vampel. Saliu Bari. Satiris Befas. Giuseppe Bellanova. Ledam Benwi Patrick. Oliver Biga. Robert Boland. Kimberly Bowers. Leigh Brooks. Nadine Buckland. Julius Bayam Kumar. Mark Chatusi. Thomas Chin. Roger Clifford. Abina Kabina. Rudy Coulter. Paulette Daddy. Kwasi Darkwa Morpho. Victor Dodo. Chinesi Domingo. Alexander Desan. Tony Ebuchimlan. Tamar El-Feki. Mohsen El-Fati. Nadar El-Shatter. Maria Ferrugia. Trevor Fernando. Adrian Formosa. Ruby Forson. Umesh Gandeska. David Godsell. Jane Hammond. Julia Harley. Devpriya Herthath, Asita Hingalaji, Mohammed Hokro, Munwar Hussain, Sajad Hussain, Eserogeni Imon Eora, Samson Isa, Beatrice Isagiati, Leroy James, Ajay Juf, Eleni Kaseru, Beshar Kasaf, Josfat Kiari, Günter Klein, Edward Kanunga, Paul Lau, Hoi Law, Man Lee, Li Ling Lin, Valentine Lindsay, Annie Ling, Stephanie Lloyd Fox, Hon Lo, Ray Looney, Dean Mann, Ahmed Marzouk, Sean McCormick, Wesley Miller, Caton Mistry, Paul Moss, Oswell Medumu, Kitra Devi Neku, Uma Devi Narenji, Jacqueline Nelson Gay, Charles Andu, Lopinani Nkomo, Nu, Chukwudi Ogbanya, Michael Ojil, Idris Oku Ossi, Ferguson Okpari, Maria Okpoti Paulo, Raphael Onushakwa, Samantha Osborne, Eugenia Papapopoulou, Ramatu Peregrino Burma, Elliot Ferv, Andrew Powell, Ahmed Rama, Joseph Ramsey, Chinyeri Ray Osakwe, Mohammed Samhan, Darren Samut, Afaluki Sango Bawali, Colin Sarpong, Lai Siu, Sirwa Taylor Apia, Okasua Tempong, Eloise Thomas, Gladys Thompson, Geraldine Tobias, Spiridon Satsoros, Azuka Uwaki, Shelley Warwick, Terence Whitaker. Rena Williams. Chun Wong. Patricia Young. For the degree of Master of Science in Educational Leadership, Alexander Burks-Agnew. Gura Brazer. Angela Brown. Rita Buhagia. Isabel De Bono. Patrick DeSellis. Stuart Edgell. Helen Hill. Anna Napier. Jefferson Phillips. Hilary Rock. For the degree of Master of Science in Finance, Ulufemi Aluwoka. Olubukonla Dada. Maria Grach Calfato. Ayab Mbira. Eileen Mensah. Richard Mukungatu. Sibangili Njanji. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Resource Development, Janelle Phillip. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Resource Development and Performance Management, Stefan Agius. Sheneri Alex Ichu. Richard Howard. Margaret Navarro-Jones. Folaki Owodadi. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Resource Management and Development, winner of the Ashton Prize, Mariella Agius. Nika Ashedu. Danica Fava. Olutola Ajaduolo. Sohar Halfan. Frederick Larby. Stephen Lebray. Sarah Mason. Marcin Navorsky. Davinia Portelli. Mukami Rimbera. Barry Spearman. Regina Sekahol. Puvanan Virpapali. Harold Vella. Xiao Yang. For the degree of Master of Science in Industrial Relations and Human Resources, Elizabeth Eilert. Claire Lateo. For the degree of Master of Science in Management, Nying Jie. Sandra Kabiru. Yu Pang. For the degree of Master of Science in Management, Finance and Accounting, Suleiman Idris Dabo. For the degree of Master of Science in Marketing, Joel Matthews. For the degree of Master of Science in Skills and Performance, Matthew Pereira.
Michael Shattock is one of the architects of the modern British university and one of the foremost students of the university system that he has helped to create. He is best known as the entrepreneurial former registrar of University of Warwick, a fine institution that owes much of its shape and success to the vision of Mike Shattock during his tenure of office in the 1980s and 1990s. Mike, as he is known to all, staffed the registry with colleagues who had academic credentials equivalent to those of academic colleagues and shaped the professional experience of those who worked for him so adeptly that many went on to become registrars elsewhere. The 12 universities that appointed registrars trained by Mike Shattock have included Oxford, Cambridge, and the University of Leicester. This university has benefited hugely from our acquisition of people trained by Mike, who, in addition to Dave Hall, our registrar, include our former Director of Finance, the Director of our International Office, and our Director of Administration in the College of Arts, Humanities and Law. In a formal sense, Michael only trained those who reported to him, but in practice he also provided good advice and acted as a role model for many of those around him. He worked with Christine Fife, who's now our Pro-Vice-Chancellor. Indeed, he also worked with Sir Robert Burgess, our Vice-Chancellor. Every one of these talented individuals is happy to acknowledge the influence of Mike Shattock on his or her career. In 1999, Mike retired from Warwick, but his attempt to retire was immediately frustrated by an invitation from the University of London to become a professor in the Centre for Higher Education Studies at the Institute of Education, where he founded what is still the world's only MBA in higher education management. That shift from registrar to professor hints at the qualities that have made Mike Shattock a seminal figure in the history of post-war higher education. He can manage like any good registrar, but he can also innovate, and he has the intellectual firepower to understand the larger picture. This capacious understanding of higher education is perhaps best reflected in his editorship of Higher Education Quarterly, which is the journal of the Society for Research into Higher Education. Professor Shattock's own contributions to research into higher education range widely, but at their centre lies a distinctly liberal sense of the power of consensual and responsible management. He has published some 80 articles and book chapters in a series of books, including in recent years, Managing Successful Universities, Managing Good Governance in Higher Education, and his forthcoming Making Policy in British Higher Education 1945 to 2011, which promises to be an instant classic. Now, British higher education is central to Mike Shattock's interests and activities, but he's also active on a global stage. Again, the breadth of his understanding is reflected at an intellectual level in his editorial work. He has served as editor of Minerva, which is an international journal of science, learning, and policy, and of Higher Education Management and Policy, which is the journal of the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The global understanding required of such posts is also reflected in the strategic work that Professor Shattock has undertaken in the international arena. His work for the OECD included chairing its steering committee on Central and Eastern Europe, which led to a large program for the reform of higher education in Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, and the Baltic states, in the years when these countries were emerging from communism and restructuring their higher education sectors. Elsewhere in Europe, Mike led the review and restructuring of the University of Malta, advised the government of Cyprus on the foundation of its university, and reviewed the operation of the European University Institute in Florence. Most important of all, Mike chaired the OECD review of Irish higher education. The report published at the conclusion of the review was launched at a press conference conducted by Mike Shattock and the Irish Minister of Higher Education. The minister supported the recommendations of the review, but his concurrence with Mike's recommendations cost him his job. Nevertheless, most of Mike's recommendations were implemented. Beyond Europe, Mike Shattock has offered advice to universities on every continent, but he has probably been most influential in Africa, where his most important work was his membership of the Commission to review the University of Ghana. Now, this extraordinary range of international activity is complemented by a similarly energetic commitment to the well-being of higher education in the UK, where he has reviewed the management and governance of many universities, often after something has gone badly wrong. Two examples must stand for many others. The first was his rescue in 1987 of what is now Cardiff University from bankruptcy. Academic colleagues there thought they were going to lose their jobs, but in the course of Mike Shattock's muscular intervention, they discovered that he is a strong supporter of well-resourced academic staff. Indeed, at the end of the exercise, Cardiff became the first university in the UK to adopt a policy of placing a computer on every academic's desk, and staff were delighted. The second example was Cambridge, where the failure of the university's expensive online accounting software system, known as CAPSA, led in 2001 to Mike being asked to review the university's management and governance. The collapse of CAPSA at Cambridge had damaged the integrity of the university's financial processes, it had soured relationships between academics and administration, and had revealed ineptitude and muddle on a grand scale. It was Mike Shattock who guided that great university to a rocky path that would eventually reform its governing and managerial structures. It would be easy to think that all these activities add up to a full-time job, but in fact, the full-time jobs were that of Deputy Registrar, Academic Registrar, and then Registrar at Warwick. For many years, our university has had a fine medical school, but Warwick didn't have one. Mike Shattock and his senior colleagues decided that their university and the region would benefit from a Warwick medical school, and so approached the University of Leicester with a view to establishing a partnership. The result was the Leicester Warwick Medical School, a collaborative venture that nurtured the growth of medical education at Warwick. 7 years later, the Warwick Medical School became independent of Leicester, and it is now a fledgling on which we have made our mark. Medicine was the basis of Mike Shattock's professional link with Leicester, but there is also a very important personal link. He is married to Professor Joanne Shattock, the eminent Victorianist in our School of English and a former Dean of Arts. Mr. Vice-Chancellor, on the authority of the Senate and of the Council, I present to you Michael Shattock, that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Letters.
I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters and welcome you among us. Many congratulations.
Vice-Chancellor, fellow graduands, distinguished guests. It's a great honour to receive the Doctor of Letters from the Senate and Council of the University and to become formally associated as a graduate with the university with which I've had so many connections. As the university orator has made clear, My professional life, both as an administrator and latterly as a scholar, has been devoted to universities. This was no idle choice, but one determined when I was still an undergraduate. You, who are just graduating and leaving the university for the wider world, might see this as rather a sad choice. But my message to you as you depart from the university is that universities make a crucial contribution to society and that they need its constant support. Of 85 institutions in the Western world whose continuous existence in recognizable forms can be traced before 1520, 70 are universities. If we ask ourselves why this should be, it is because they are key agents in the production of new knowledge and the transmission of that knowledge and of existing knowledge to students like yourselves and to the wider society. This university, for example, amongst its many intellectual contributions over the years, has been responsible for the discovery of DNA fingerprinting, for creating the study of landscape history, for pioneering the study of the Victorian period as a coherent field of interest, and for building an international centre for research in X-ray astronomy. Moreover, in a world where slogans and polemical half-truths are the norm, universities are the sites for critical inquiry and the disinterested pursuit of scholarly and scientific truth, whether it is about climate change, social deprivation, or the finer points of literary criticism. It is essential that this freedom is protected. A university's graduates are an important constituency in this respect, and I hope, therefore, that in the interstices of your productive professional lives, you will find time to defend the role of the universities in society, not just because of the good times and the qualifications which this university has given you, but because universities in general represent a key resource for the new knowledge and new ideas which are drivers of the modern world. Thank you all very much.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Educational Studies, Suzanne Baroui. Michelle Giddings. Hava Makda. Maria Moreland. Samantha O'Malley. Christine Sweeney. Kerry Thompson. Valerie Walker. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management Studies, Christopher Aplanap. Afar Ahmad. Khalifa Al-Yusha. Adam Bailey. Nicholas Barnes. Aditya Bhatia. Ketan Bhavan. Zain Bahimi. Mabdul Bayan, Joshua Bland, Emily Blount, Matthew Bond, Natasha Carr, Pooja Chandrana, Han Shen Chen, Shan Li Chen, Yu Chen, Amaka Shakura, Jessica Cluett, Matthew Cooper, Richard Cumpsty, Samantha Kundell, Hannah Daines, winner of the Best BA in Management Studies Graduate Prize, Alice Deacon, Brian Deegan, Maninjarit Du, Natalie Desborough, Christopher Dewhurst, Michael Drinkwater, Sophie Ames, Alexander Evans, Hoi Fan, Chun Yu Fan, Xu Feng, Jonathan Fawn, James Freestone, Matthew Freestone, Hugo Furno, Daniel Furnell, Natalie Garner, Valentina Gavrilova, winner of the School of Management Introduction to Accountancy Prize, Robert Gibbs. Tejas Gohill, Joshua Griffiths, Manka Gupta, Thomas Hayward, Sam Hildrew, Andrew Hood, Ka Hui, Yan Jiang, Yi Qinjiang, Gosukrit Kukrija, Long Kwok, King Lam, Yuk Law, Wang Ru Li, Yan Leung, Lee Chun Lee, Callum MacDonald, Luke Mansfield, Anteng Mao, John Marak Dango, Charlotte Marshall, Gurvinder Marwe, Alexander McKeegan, Sidra Minai, Roman Malesko, Ryan Melawa, Dipesh Mistry, Sonal Mistry, Alice Mitchell, Natalie Mitchell, Sumandeep Nahal, Hugh Ung. Natasha Odoy. John O'Mara. Christopher O'Rourke. Jacob Orr. Charlie Osler. Samyuktha Palanchathajutnur. Edward Pang. Marius Papachristou. Mark Parish. Hannah Perkins. Nikita Plotnitsenko. Michael Polyevac. Rana Rashid. David Rutilli. Benjamin Sales. Landing Sanyang. Jonathan Glenn Seabrook. Jonathan Seymour. Ji Shen. Winner of the School of Management Introduction to Accountancy Prize, Pavel Sierpowski.
Congratulations, well done on your prize.
Sophie Sims.
Congratulations, thank you.
Susanna Shoshka.
Congratulations.
Arun Suresh.
Congratulations.
Raja Tariq.
Congratulations.
Natalie Todd.
Congratulations.
Michael Toms.
Congratulations.
Angus Tukey.
Congratulations.
Hei Xiang.
Congratulations.
Zhu Yang Sil.
Congratulations.
Samuel Twining.
Congratulations.
Patrick Ugboma.
Congratulations.
Vela Valkova.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hai Hui Wang.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Jianyi Wang.
Congratulations.
Yi Wang.
Congratulations.
Michael Warwick.
Congratulations.
Winner of the Most Improved BA in Management Studies Student Prize, Max Welsh.
Congratulations. Well done on your prize.
Lindsay Vessel.
Congratulations.
Sophie Whitehouse.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Winner of the Most Improved BA in Management Studies Student Prize, Justin Wong.
Congratulations. Well done on your prize.
Christopher Wright.
Congratulations.
Dong Yang.
Congratulations.
Yang Yang.
Congratulations.
Zi Yung.
Congratulations.
Anna Zakharovich.
Congratulations. Well done.
Han Yang Zhang.
Congratulations.
Yi Jiang.
Congratulations.
He Ying Zhang.
Congratulations.
Chao Chi Zhang.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Ling Yu Zhong.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management Studies and Economics, Whitney Afram.
Congratulations. Well done.
Xin Yi Chen.
Congratulations.
Aaron Dale.
Congratulations.
Don Gagsgarth.
Congratulations.
Rosie Harrison.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Elena Rizova.
Congratulations.
Sneha Joshi.
Congratulations.
Shahidi Halid.
Congratulations.
Craig Law.
Congratulations.
Avni Malhotra.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Benjamin Rogers.
Congratulations.
Zishan Upal.
Congratulations.
William Whittle.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Management Studies with Politics, Christopher Dearlove.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Human Resource Management, Ivan Bezina.
Congratulations.
Shahista Shiwala.
Congratulations.
Christine Gambin.
Congratulations.
Fabio Guardiola.
Congratulations.
Carolyn Gurney.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hugh Lee.
Congratulations.
Emmy Nagai.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Mark Spiteri.
Congratulations.
Pauline Spiteri.
Congratulations.
Isabel Woodliff.
Congratulations.
For the Arts Foundation degree in Educational Studies for Teaching Assistants, Farzana Ali.
Congratulations.
Lisa Alpress.
Congratulations.
Irene Bayliss.
Congratulations.
Sandra Bullock.
Congratulations.
Rennie Clark.
Congratulations.
Tina Donnelly.
Congratulations.
Julie Eden.
Congratulations.
Kiman Garacha.
Congratulations.
Rachel Gasking.
Congratulations.
Charlotte Harkins.
Congratulations.
Aisha Isat.
Congratulations.
Sabina Halifa.
Congratulations.
Jodie Kirkert.
Congratulations.
Tira Kusser.
Congratulations.
Paula Martel.
Congratulations.
Atisha Parma.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Joanne Reed.
Congratulations.
Samina Sajawal. Mandy Shilton.
Congratulations.
Kate Cyril.
Congratulations.
Owen Story.
Congratulations.
Bharti Thakrar.
Congratulations.
Amanda Torrey.
Congratulations.
Sahima Variava.
Congratulations.
Harry White.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Makiya Majrasha.
Congratulations.
For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Human Resource Management, Miriam Sakonde.
Congratulations. Well done.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, Leicester graduates, your families and friends, As Senior Pro-Vice-Chancellor, it's both an honour and a pleasure to be able to add my congratulations to those of the Vice-Chancellor and those of our honorary graduates to the graduating class of 2012. Today our ceremony has been enriched by the presence of David Samworth and Michael Shattock. David is a highly successful businessman who has in various ways contributed a great deal to the local community. I'm also delighted that Mike Shattock has been able to join us today, he being one of the most influential figures in the world of higher education. A highlight of each degree ceremony is the award of honours to people of distinction who have excelled in their chosen walks of life. David and Mike, you are men of distinction and we're delighted you have agreed to join our roll of honour. Thank you for joining us for today and for your gracious speeches. For you, the graduating class of 2012, this emphatically is your day. The annual degree ceremonies which we hold are very special occasions. They are opportunities for you to celebrate your graduation, not only with your families and friends, but also with the staff of the university, who take considerable pride in your achievements. You've worked hard to achieve your success, and you should be proud of what you have accomplished. I very much hope you've enjoyed the whole experience of your time at Leicester, and I hope you'll keep in touch with us in the years to come. You are all representatives of the College of Social Science. Some of you are postgraduates, and others of you are receiving your first bachelor's degrees. For those of you who are receiving postgraduate degrees, you are part of a very large postgraduate community. Currently, the university has over 23,000 students, and of this number, just over half are postgrads. This is one of the distinctive features and strengths of the University of Leicester. Few, if any, universities have such a high population of postgraduates. Some of you will have earned your degrees by studying on campus, while others of you will have studied by distance learning, completing your studies while also holding down full-time jobs. What unites you, however, is that in each case the discipline you've shown in completing your courses and the knowledge and skills you've acquired will stand you in good stead for the future. This is also true for those of you who completed undergraduate degrees. Reading for any degree at a university is very much a case of directed self-tuition. You are taught by leading researchers in their fields. This teaching, however, is to provide you with a roadmap for further learning. Much of what you then do is to follow this map through your own endeavours and to introduce a new metaphor, put flesh on the skeleton provided by the academic staff. As you then pursue your independent study, write assignments and take part in tutorial discussions, your subject comes alive. Your contribution to the learning process is a two-way street. You may be surprised, but it's true, that your tutors learn a great deal from you. This is one of the attractions of working and studying at the University of Leicester. While we are a research-intensive university, we also believe strongly in the synergy between research and teaching. The tuition provided by leading scholars in their disciplines enables the staff to share their expertise and convey their enthusiasm for their subjects with you. In return, your own thoughts and insights can prompt us to rethink our own views and in the process further our own education. All of you, whether postgraduates or undergraduates, have been studying in the social sciences, either in education, labour market studies, management. Although you've been taking different subjects, you have much in common. You've displayed the discipline required to complete your various degrees successfully and have acquired and developed various skills and values. In the modern world, these skills and values are of major importance, and I'm confident that as you pursue your respective careers, you will find these values essential and that they will increasingly be valued by the various employers who will encounter you as your careers progress. You also have one other important thing in common. You are all now graduates of the University of Leicester, one of the best universities in the country. That this is a leading university has been recognised over the years by its consistently high placings in the league tables and its receipt of the award of University of the Year in 2008-09 and for 6 successive years later. Being a graduate of this university is a badge of distinction which you can wear with pride for the rest of your lives. Moreover, as Leicester graduates, you will continue to be ambassadors of this institution, and as such, you represent one of our greatest assets. I appreciate that by now you'll be starting to get impatient as you want to rejoin your friends and families to continue your celebrations. Rest assured, I shall not detain you for much longer. I'm very conscious that addresses such as mine are better if they are brief. So once I'd written my speech, I took a leaf from the policy agenda of the current government and made substantial cuts to it. I will therefore bring my remarks to a close. Mention of the government and the cuts in public expenditure is a stark reminder that we are all living in uncertain economic times. This is particularly true for the higher education sector, of which we are a part, but is also true for you and the wider economy. As you move on to further your careers, it's idle to pretend that in the short term at least, the employment market will not be very challenging. That said, which the qualities you've demonstrated in obtaining your various degrees from a first-rate university, you are supremely well qualified to meet the challenges which you will undoubtedly face and succeed in fulfilling your ambitions. I have every confidence that in a very difficult world, you will fare well and bring credit upon yourselves and on your university, a university which is proud of you. As an unreconstructed fan of the earliest series of Star Trek, I conclude with the famous words of the incomparable Mr. Spock, "Live long and prosper," to which I would add, "Be happy." Thank you all very much.
Well, this brings us to the end of the proceedings this morning, and it appears as the degree ceremony has gone on, it's been very evident that you've clearly enjoyed the occasion, and I hope that the rest of the day proves to be equally successful for you. Clearly, as we have indicated, we are very proud of you, the graduates of this university. And in that sense, we admire, in the case of distance learning students, your persistence in working over the years for a degree with support from the University of Leicester. And those of you who have studied on campus, we very much appreciate the contribution that you make to campus life and to the work of the university. I know that we certainly hope that over the years you will want to update the work that you've done and extend the study that you've done, whether that be through a series of CPD courses or through more advanced qualifications. We hope that you will remember the University of Leicester in this context and will wish to come back and study with us again. Certainly, we hope you will also continue to cheer us on over the years, because think of it like this: the better we do in all the league tables, the greater the value of the degree that you've obtained today. So in that sense, I certainly hope that you will make sure you cheer on the university in order to drive us to ever greater heights of success. But I've noticed during the course of the degree ceremony, you're very good at cheering on. So it seems to me you need to demonstrate that on one more occasion. So for the graduating class of 2012, one more round of applause. I now declare this congregation closed.